Good morning. Please find your way into a comfortable seat. Today's practice is going to specifically focus on de-stressing ourselves, just, just in case you're feeling a little uptight right now, a little anxious, a little stressed out. So we're going to do a practice where we try to kind of ground our energy and just kind of feel the safety and support of the ground underneath us. We're going to do some flowing movement so that we can just get the breath going and feel into our bodies. And then we're going to try to kind of open up this heart space, this space of compassion a little bit, and just join nature and the whole rest of the world around us and just kind of looking at the big picture version of things rather than these smaller things that we get fixated on and upset by. So let's take a moment to snuggle ourselves into my favorite grounding pose, which is simply laying on the front of our bodies. So if you're up for it, of course, you can take a seat instead. If you're up for it, you can lay flat on your front. I'm going to put a blanket down for a little more comfort in that regard. That is totally up to you if you use the blanket or don't use the blanket. And once you get down there, you can just kind of squiggle around. Your legs do not have to be straight and strong. Your legs can relax. They can turn in, they can turn out. In fact, I might recommend that you tuck your toes under and just rock your heels a little bit side to side. Your legs, again, can be wide to make your low back feel more comfortable if need be. Let your legs just kind of rock into a position that feels nice for you. You can turn your head to one side, or you can put your forehead down. And again, you might just rock your forehead side to side. Just kind of smooth out that space between the eyebrows, that area that includes the tendency to kind of overthink about, you know, whatever we're thinking about. Take a deep breath in through your nose and an exhale through your mouth. And find, if it's available now, find stillness in this posture, laying on the front of your body. And notice how your body moves with your breath. And just notice the point at which you feel inclined to deepen your breath. And maybe we use a little different technique to start today, where we inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth like we're blowing out candles. So purse the lips and just a smooth flow of an exhale. The beauty of this is that it helps you to, one, focus on your exhale a little bit more, which is down regulating for your nervous system. And it slows down your exhale. You'll notice that if you exhale through pursed lips, that your exhale just seems to last so long. Let it. Let your exhale last as long as it wants to last. And then let your inhale come in when it's ready. Let's take a few more rounds of breath like this. In through the nose, out through pursed lips. Is it possible to think of only your breath? to feel it move through you, to listen to the sound of it, to track it with your attention. One more breath like that. And you're welcome to use that breath at any point. You're also welcome to inhale and exhale through your nose as we normally do in this practice. Please bend your knees and start to roll out your ankles. Just making a smooth, kind of consistent movement, trying to make the entire circle, getting that full range of motion in your ankles. Noticing the sticky spots, noticing the spots where the circle kind of straightens out, and then circle in the other direction. Know that you can circle both ankles at the same time, or you can circle one and then the others. What works better for your brain and your body today? And then release the ankles and scrunch up your toes. Scrunch them up as much as you can. Scrunch, 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 scrunch. And then stretch all your toes out. Make them so big. Your feet are expanding into Bigfoot feet. One more breath. And then relax your toes. And then windshield. I guess your windshield wipering your feet side to side. Does it feel nice to go slow? Inhale one side, exhale the other, and really explore. How is this affecting my low back, my hips, my thighs on the ground? I'm exploring rocking my head opposite my legs like I would on my back. Maybe you want to play with that too. Maybe you don't. And then we're going to finish this round that we're on. Back to center and stretch both legs out long behind us. Do make your legs strong. Push all your toes into the floor. And then lift yourself up slowly into a sphinx pose for a moment. Shrug your shoulders all the way up to your ears. And just melt into your shoulder tension. And then press the shoulder blades, shoulder heads, upper arm bones back in space. And then the shoulder blades are going to kind of roll down and kind of toward each other. And that's going to give you this boost where you kind of pop up away from the floor. Chest is pretty broad here. And then just start to rotate your head from left to right. And I invite you to go so slowly that you can just track the room around you, just seeing all the different shapes and all the different colors. Maybe even when you get your head all the way turned to one side, you can try to look over your shoulder, turning your eyes even further, try to see more shapes, more colors. Everything vibrating at its own rate so that we can see it all differently. Please finish this round of turning your head side to side. No rush, of course. And then we're going to look straight forward. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale and spread the elbows out and lower your head down. Please turn your head to look to the left. Bend your left knee out to the left And let's kind of do like let's call this a variation of sleeping baby pose, a variation of child's pose. So that we're just kind of opening up one hip nice and wide. Take a couple more breaths here, all the way in and all the way out, if possible, through your nose. And then inhale, stretch that leg straight and strong behind you. And let's go side two. And just kind of releasing that line across the mid back through the pelvis to the head of the femur. This is the psoas muscle, and it can affect our nervous system as well. So as we soothe this area and take a few deep breaths, maybe you're feeling your abdomen move a lot and you're feeling that kind of inner thigh, low back release a little bit. That can be very soothing for our system, very calming for our system. One more breath here. And then we're going to stretch that leg back. And even though we're going to make our way further away from the floor, put less of our body on the floor, let's just note our contact points. Tuck your toes under, push your toes into the floor, push your knees into the floor. Feel each hand push into the floor. Okay. Push straight down into the ground and feel your strength as you lift yourself up. Pause for a moment and just feel all those points again, feet, knees, hands, pushing into the floor. Take a deep breath here. Now, if you need to switch to a seated pose for cat and cow, please go ahead and make your way there now. We'll find a neutral spine here. We'll take a deep breath again. Both sides of the body lengthen with the inhale. And then a little contraction of the abdomen as we exhale and round. Tuck your tailbone under, pull your navel toward the sky, shoulders round away from each other and hunch up to your ears, chin tucks. And then inhale and stretch out the front body. Tailbone to sky, navel stretches toward the floor, chest pushes through your arms, chin lifts. And then continue through cat and cow, just rolling up the spine every time you inhale, every time you exhale. Feel that support of the parts of your body that are on the floor. Feel how that support allows you to create this nice flowing movement. Feel how your breath focuses the movement so that it is kind, so that it is gentle to your body, so that it's not forceful, so that you're going to wherever your edges are at this moment. Let's take an inhale once you finish this round and come back into a neutral spine. Okay. And you can either, if you're sitting, fold over your legs, or if you're on hands and knees and it's available, sit back toward child's pose. Maybe you stack your forearms and drop your head onto your forearms again. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and maybe you exhale through pursed lips. If you're in child's pose and you want to explore something a little different, you can put your forearms on the floor and have your chest kind of open here, head is lifted. If you're sitting and folding over your legs, you can come halfway out of your folded position and just have your chest kind of open, head in line with your spine. Take one more deep breath here. Okay, now there's a couple things we can do here. If you're on hands and knees, you can inhale, hands and knees, exhale, child's pose. If you'd like to try a downward dog, you can come into downward facing dog, taking all the time you need. And inhale, plank. Let the collarbones guide your way. And exhale, downward facing dog, pushing the thigh bones back, feeling your feet push into the floor. Okay. And from seated, you can lift your arms up overhead with an inhale. And lower your arms back down to touch the floor with an exhale. Two more. Breath is guiding you. Exactly. Very nice. Really smooth. That's great. Last one. And we'll just take a deep breath wherever we end up. Okay. Please slowly make your way up to standing. I'm going to walk my feet toward my hands, lift up halfway when I get there. Exhale, fold all the way in. Inhale, stretch up to the sky, reaching up high. And exhale, lower the arms down to the side. Let's meet in mountain pose. Take a couple breaths. We have another little student who wants to come in. Come on. And I'd like you to take your feet a little wider, like as wide as the mat. And then sit back. And we're going to just kind of dig our heels into the floor. Feel the strength of our legs, which are starting to, they'll start heating up at some point, maybe currently. Feel the strength of the legs all the way down through the feet, and just you're kind of digging into the floor, feeling that strong support. And then we're going to go ahead and curl the tailbone back, belly forward, chest kind of rolls through the arms so you can pull your elbows back a little bit, chin up. And then exhale, gently send your tailbone under, pull your navel back and round through your whole spine. Let's keep going. A couple of cat-cows while standing in a squat position. Notice how this feels different than the cat-cow you did earlier. Maybe there's more freedom in some area. Maybe there's less in some areas, depending on how you did it in the first place. Take one more round. We want, yeah, really great. And then once you finish your one more round, come back to center. Maybe close your eyes and just feel your feet touching the floor as you push up to standing. And then sit back down into the squat, hips back. I want you to try to keep your knees behind your toes. And then push up to standing. And then sit back into a squat. You're just feeling your feet touching the floor. And then push up to standing. And then back into a sitting squat combination position. And then up to standing. And maybe challenge yourself to go the slightest bit deeper this last time. And then we'll push up to standing and stretch both arms up into the air, both feet digging into the floor. And then we'll reach one arm up a little higher. The other arm can just kind of come down, like maybe you're trying to reach some fruit on a tree. And then the other arm's going to reach all the way up. Okay. And then maybe you reach at a slightly different angle and you kind of reach a little bit forward, backward, or out to the side and reach. Just reach at slightly different angles each time. Maybe you inhale on one arm reach and exhale on the other arm reach. And one more reach on each side. And then eventually your arms come down by your side. Beautiful. Okay, inhale, swoop both arms forward. And we're going to want some clearance here. So just kind of rock your arms so that you know that your arms are going to go back and the arms are going to go forward and up. Okay, just make sure they have a free lane of traffic. Inhale, arms up as you're standing. Exhale, sit back and press the wall away behind you. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, press it all back. And continue. Inhale, reach up, feel the warmth of building. Maybe still in the legs because we're still doing squats here. And all the way up and around the heart. Maybe even as you're moving, you can feel the beat of your heart. That warmth around the chest, the upper back, the shoulders, the arms, all the way through the hands, swishing through the air. Are your arms toned as you move here? Try to make those arms strong. Make that movement controlled. We've got one more here. Now we're going to squat, keep our arms behind us. Look a little forward so our chest is broad so that the shoulders can stay pretty on the back. stay pretty on the back. Turn the palms toward each other and then squeeze like you're holding a super fun beach ball behind you. Squeeze. 5, 4. Try to be nice to your neck. What's a good angle for your head? 1. And then let your arms come down. Stand up with your super strong legs at this point. And take a couple of breaths here. Inhale, feel the breath move through your nostrils. And exhale all the way down through the soles of the feet. One more deep breath. Okay. Find your 2 blocks. You're going to place your 2 blocks in front of you. We're going to do a couple of half sun salutations. Okay. And then we're going to add a little bit of twisting in there. So let's start by standing in mountain pose facing our blocks. On an inhale, we'll lift up nice and tall. Arms overhead, arms toned. Exhale, we'll fold in. You have your blocks if you'd like. Send your gaze toward your navel. Inhale, lift up halfway. Look right up at the top of the mat. Exhale, fold all the way back in. Look at your navel. Inhale, stand up with control. Stretch both arms to the sky. Look beyond your hands up to the stars. Exhale, hands down to your side. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold, look in. Inhale, lift halfway, look slightly forward. Exhale, fold all the way in, look in. Inhale, stretch your arms all the way to the sky. Maybe you track the room as you tilt your head up to look up. Exhale, hands come down, look forward. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold in. Maybe you track the room as you fold, 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 fold. Your gaze turns all the way to your navel. Inhale, lift up halfway. Maybe you track the length of the mat as you send your gaze to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, reach all the way to the sky. Eyes scan the room. Look all the way up and exhale, hands together at the center of your chest one more time. Inhale, stretch both arms up, follow your thumbs up into the air. Exhale, fold in. Maybe your peripheral view can track your thumbs as you dive down. Look at your navel. Inhale, lift up halfway, look toward the top of your mat. Exhale, fold all the way in. Gentle movement with the head and the eyes. Inhale, reach out and up, tracking your thumbs with your peripheral view. Reach up, look at your thumbs. Maybe the hands come together and you watch them drop all the way down to heart center. Drop your chin into your chest. Interlace your fingers, push down on your palms, push down. Yeah, perfect. Push forward. Keep looking down. Reach any amount overhead. Find an angle that suits your shoulders. Stretch from the sides of your ribs up through your outer arms, up through your forearms. Feel that nice release in the hands. How tight are your hands today? More than usual, less than usual? How much typing and scrolling have we been doing today? On an inhale, slowly lift your head back up to look forward. Your hands are going to come back to heart space. And we're going to spread our arms out into cactus arms. Let me change that. Touch your shoulders, please. You could do either. Let's do that. You could do either. Inhale, broaden your elbows, open your chest, let your chin hover upward. And exhale, elbows toward each other, tuck your chin, and you can even round your upper back a little. Inhale, curl up and open. Exhale, round. Letting that energy, letting that flow, letting that breath focus, on your thoracic spine, on your chest, on your shoulder girdle, on your precious neck. Be gentle with your neck. And a couple more here. Just nice, long movements through the spine, right? Thoracic all the way up to the neck, so that we're not kind of creating anything jarring up there in that potentially tense area. And once you finish this round, just let your arms come all the way down by your sides for a second. And then we're going to bring them all the way back up into the same position, hands on shoulders, and roll our elbows in big circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in the other direction. 5, as slowly as you need to go. You can definitely go slower than my count. So I'll stop counting. Okay. And then once you finish, you're going to let your arms fall down by your side. Inhale. Exhale, feel both feet grounded, planted on the floor. Maybe you even take the slightest little chair pose, like a high bar stool pose. Feel the power in your legs as you reach up, push up to standing, straight legs, arms overhead. Exhale, dive yourself down and in over your legs. Inhale, lift up halfway, put your hands on your blocks. Make sure that it's stable. Stamp your blocks right next to your feet and step your left foot back an amount that you have control over. If it's okay to land on the ball of your foot, roll forward and back on that back foot, just kind of massaging out the toes of your back foot. Okay, put as much weight as you need into your hands. Engage the outer right thigh a little bit extra, all the way up to the outer right hip. Engage the inner left thigh a little bit extra. Okay, now find a balanced position. You can even, of course, if you need to plant your whole left foot on the floor, that's fine. Let's push both feet down into the floor. We're just going to keep that front leg bent. Knee is on top of the ankle. Hamstrings engaged. And if you want a little bit more challenge, you want to keep kind of pulling your right hip back in space, just kind of rooting it back. Maybe your right arm wants to reach forward. Maybe you want that little bit of extra challenge. Maybe not today. 4, 3, tone your arm. 2, 1. Inhale. And exhale, put that hand down. Bend the back knee and step all the way forward. Sit back into a little chair and then push all the way up. With an inhale, roll your arms up into the sky, and exhale, watch as your thumbs sit right down at the center of your chest. Inhale into your thumbs. Exhale into your feet. Let your arms come down. Take mountain pose. Inhale, reach both arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold yourself in, touch the block. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, step your right foot back to a distance that feels under control for your body. And then roll on that back foot. If you've landed on your toes, you're trying to roll out the toes and stretch out the bottom of the foot. Stretch out around the ankle and the calf, potentially. Just kind of getting this area that I keep inviting you to connect to the floor a little looser, so maybe it can soften into the ground a little more comfortably, a little more deeply. One more deep breath here. And then find a middle point with your back foot or plant your back foot. Push down firmly through both feet. Engage a little extra on your inner right thigh and a little extra on your outer left thigh. Your left hip kind of wants to root back. You can even take your hand and push it back a little bit if you want to reach your arm forward, especially holding for 5. 4, you got it. Really nice. 3, try to put equal weight in your back foot if it's possible. I know there's a lot of weight going forward, but try to push that heel back. 2, 1. Inhale here. And then exhale, lower your hand down to the block. A little bend in the knees. Let's step it forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold all the way in. Inhale, lift up to the sky. Exhale, watch as your hands drop to heart center. Inhale, lift up to the sky. Exhale, fold yourself in, all the way in. Look at your navel. Inhale, lift up halfway. Plant your hands on blocks. Take your feet, well, you could take your feet wider if you need to. So just know that that's an option in the future if you need that. Okay, let's sit back into a little chair pose with our hands on blocks. So you're kind of in two poses. You're in Ardha Uttanasana, half fold, and you're in chair pose. Okay, now both hands have some support here. If you need to use the floor, just use your fingertips or find any prop around. We're going to inhale here. Exhale, straighten the left leg, put the left hand on the hip, and turn our chest gently to the left. Inhale, center, both hands down, both knees bent, chair pose. Same side, please. Exhale to the left. Right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Yeah, really nice. And the reason I want you to do this 2 more times, all on one side to start with, is because you can feel the pose grow. Maybe put your left hand on your heart. Inhale, center. Maybe put your left hand on your heart and we can stay here for a moment, or we can stretch that top arm to the sky, reaching our 2 arms away from each other or our 2 elbows away from each other. Left leg is however straight feels reasonable. Head leans back. And then we'll bend both knees, return to chair. And exhale, right hand on right hip. Right leg works towards straight, and we're turning to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, turning to the right. Side 2. If you need a break, take a break, no problem. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, back to center, chair pose. Exhale to the right. Maybe your hand is coming to your chest. Inhale, back to center. And then last time, exhale to the right. Maybe the hand is coming to the chest. Maybe the right arm is stretching to the sky. Either way, stretch both elbows away from each other. Left knee is very bent. Left knee is very, very bent. So you can kind of lean toward it. Of course, you can keep your hand on your chest or on your hip. On an inhale, come back to center, sit back into chair one more time, feeling that super strength. Hands on your thighs. Stand all the way up. Pause for a moment. Okay, when you're ready, grab your blocks. Face the wide side. Take your feet apart a distance that feels strong, but you know that it's going to add a little stretch in your inner thighs when you fold. Put a bend in your knees. Sit your block hands on the floor. I suppose I'll show this from the side actually. Okay, and your block hands are right under your shoulders, and you could choose how high the blocks are. Okay, inhale here. Your knees are still bent. And then start just rocking toward one knee so the other leg straighten. And then toward the other knee so the other leg straighten. So just rocking side to side for a moment. Maybe we're inhaling one side, exhaling the other. If you feel like you want both hands on one block as you lean toward that side, you can do that too. You can move the blocks with you. You have some options. Just let it be kind of flowy for you, for your body. I know we're doing so much leg stuff today. Part of feeling really grounded and connected to our bodies and connected to the floor and feeling stable is really strengthening that lower body area. Okay, so we're going to come back to center, and you can either come up, take a break, or you can walk your hands forward in space and just stretch out through the sides of your body. Again, your blocks can be at any height. Your arms are at least shoulder distance apart. If they need to be wider, take them wider. Great. Hands on your thighs, no problem. You want to straighten your legs, you want to bend your legs. What feels best for you? Root down through your heels, spread out through the balls of the feet, and take 2 more long breaths here. Mhm. On your next inhale, walk your hands under your shoulders again. Please turn your heels in, sit back into squat, goddess pose, and stand in the squat for 1 moment here. So you're in a tall squat, your feet are kind of wide, your knees are bent, your toes are turned out. Your torso is upright. Maybe we interlace the fingers. This is going to make it harder. And push your palms forward and reach up for 1 breath. Maybe we squat the slightest bit lower, knees wide, and then push all the way up to standing. Lower the arms down by the sides and square the feet. Take a moment and then step both feet near each other. Okay, we're going to make our way down to the ground. We're going to lay all the way down on our stomachs. Okay, so you can either come with me and take my route or pick your own route. Take your blocks to the side. Take your feet as wide as your mat, please. And as you inhale, stretch both arms up. As you exhale, fold in. Look for your navel. Inhale, lift up halfway. If plank pose is available, come to plank. If hands and knees is better, come to hands and knees. Inhale there. Exhale into down dog or child's pose. Take 1 full breath. And we're going to inhale forward onto hands and knees with our knees behind our hips. Stabilize our shoulders on the back. And then what I'd like you to do is just slowly bend your elbows and roll down. Roll your thighs down, roll your pelvis down, roll your abdomen down, roll your chest down, release your arms, and put your head down. Now stretch 1 leg up behind you, really long, really strong, up in the air. It doesn't have to be high, but it's off the floor. And then lower the whole top of that leg down. And then side 2, stretch the legs so long, lift it a little bit off the floor, reach through the toes, and put the top of that leg down on the floor. Now with a slow inhale, stabilize your pelvis on the floor, and inhale, lift your head and chest a little bit. Take your hands out to the sides of the mat, kind of like cobra pose, where your hands are planted on the floor next to your chest. And tone your upper arms, engage your upper back, and then maybe hover your hands off the floor here for a second. Okay, 5, and our neck is long. 4, 3, breathe up the back of your body. 2, down the front of your body. 1, use an exhale to lower yourself down and take a break. Rock out anything you need to. Now, take both hands next to your chest, kind of like cobra pose. This time, your hands are going to stay connected to the floor. And you can even keep your head on the floor if you'd like. Try lifting one leg, try lifting both legs. If you prefer, you can also lift your head and your chest. 5. Imagine you're holding a yoga block wide in between your ankles. 4, 3. Imagine you could, or maybe you can, widen out through the pinky toes. 2, 1. Stay in the pose for an inhale and then use an exhale to stretch your legs long down on the ground. Lower your arms, take a break. Rock out anything you need to. Stretch your arms down by your sides, palms down, and then walk your hands out 6 inches to a foot. So your hands are on the floor off of your mat. Push your fingertips into the floor. Roll your shoulder blades gently onto your back. And then kind of pull your chest through your arms as you lift your head and chest. Stretch through your legs as you lift your legs off of the floor. This is our last locust pose, supported by the ground in the front body. Back body is engaging. Heart, chest soft. 4, 3. Breath is flowing. 2. And inhale in the pose for 1. And an exhale to lower all the way down and rest completely. Take a few long breaths. As you inhale, you'll press your abdomen into the floor. And as you exhale, you'll relax your abdomen completely. If you want to relax your legs, you can take your legs wider. You can let them turn in or out. Press your abdomen into the floor on the inhale, and then soften your abdomen on the exhale. This can be so soothing that you can use it before bed. It also feels nicer on a mattress than the floor because your abdomen can push into something soft. Hands under the forehead, elbows wide. Your chest has a little bit of space away from the floor so that as you're expanding into the belly, you're also feeling the chest space kind of widen. And then everything softens as you exhale. Please turn your head to the right and bend your right knee out to the right. So you're taking sleeping baby again. How does it feel to keep the abdominal breathing going now that part of your abdomen is not on the floor potentially? Ease your way back to center. And go over to the left side. Turn your head to the left. Bend your left knee out, kind of like I guess it's kind of looks like a tree pose. Optional abdominal breathing. Notice how it feels different. Different than the other side, different than laying flat. Finish this deep breath. And then make your way back to center. Option 1, plant your hands next to your chest. Push the ground away. Come up to hands and knees and come into child's pose. Option 2, lay down on your back and hug your knees. In either pose, you can rock the hips, you can rock the head. You can take a big yawn, stretching out around the jaw. Another place that we might be holding. Make your way slowly onto your back. Option to put a blanket under your head. Scoot your hips gently to the left. Hug your knees towards your chest. And drop your knees toward the right. You're welcome to put a block or a blanket in between your knees as needed. Let's add a little flex to the feet. Of course, you can take a different twist if you prefer it. More than welcome to do that. Take a deep breath into the left side of your chest and all the way out through your left arm. Left arm planted on the floor. I'm holding my right thigh down into the floor with my right hand too. This feels really supportive for me. You can try it if you like. One more breath into the whole pose. And as you feel that exhale, engage your abdominal wall. Use that strength to come back to center safely for your low back. And then scoot your hips to the right, knees to chest, knees to the left, or the same twist you did on the other side. Take a deep breath into the right side of your chest and out through your whole right arm, feeling it grounded on the floor. Maybe your left, oh, I said that wrong last time. Maybe your left hand is pushing your bottom leg down into the ground. Big breath through your whole entire body, feeling all the sensations of your whole body just being here in this position. And then start to engage around the abdomen. Carefully lift your way back to center. Hug both knees in towards your chest. and stretch both legs up to the sky and just give the hamstrings a little massage. You can just take your fingers and slide them up and down through the backs of the legs. You could squeeze and release up to the back of the knees, maybe even around the front of the knees, around the sides of the thighs. So you are massaging your thighs, is what's happening. Massage to the top of the thighs, inner thighs. You could make little circles with your fingers, pressing and circling. What feels good? Squeezing, sliding up and down. Okay, all the while getting a little bit of a release in the back of the legs is why our legs are up while we're doing this. Could, of course, do this without the massage. Grab hold of your knees, bend your knees. Give yourself a little rock side to side. And then plant both feet on the floor. Push the thigh bones away with your hands. Feel your head resting down on the floor, the eyes dropping back into the socket. Make your way into a shavasana that feels comfortable for you. Resting pose. Feel each part of your body that's touching the ground. And soften into it. Maybe you give your eyes a slow roll, rolling the eyeballs all the way around in one direction, all the way around in the other direction. Let the eyes settle. Let the back teeth separate. The base of your skull widen. Your whole body drop down into rest. Bring your attention back into your body. If you'd like to rest a little longer, please give yourself that time. When you're ready to come to a seat, join your hands at heart center. May you be well. Namaste.